All right, I only did a little mental prep for this. I've decided, since I am doing shorter videos now, I'm going to squeeze one in before I go into work. So, as I said, I'm working a night shift. All right, welcome to Sovereign Artsakh, everyone. I'm this non-Armenian guy who's fixated and obsessed with Armenia, the Armenian Genocide, the Sogoman Talarian story in particular. Now, that's the gist of some of the comments in the comment section are, dude, it's like you're obsessed. Can't you think of anything else but Armenia? And my response to one of those comments was, if you find a buried treasure, wouldn't you do everything to dig it up? Right? If you're walking across a field, on the beach, in the desert, wherever, and you come across a buried treasure, like literally something that you recognized immediately as extremely valuable, and nobody else seems to know it's there or care, wouldn't you do everything to dig it up? And that's the Armenian Genocide. That's the Sogoman Talarian story. When I say buried, it's like under the surface of history, right? Denialism, that's the burial, right? It's like, oh, there's this true story, like this historical event that every human should know. Every person should know the name Sogoman Talarian. Every person should know the name Talat Pasha. Every person should know this court case, right? That should be taught from, whenever history classes start in school, from like elementary school all the way up into the universities. It should just be common knowledge. It should be as common as the name Adolf Hitler, right? Talat Pasha, Sogoman Talarian. It's a seminal moment in history. It's a buried treasure that every human should know. So here I am. I stumble across it, and Armenians for 100 years are like, our story must be told. Our story must be told. And the way I've always put it is, they are the forest, right? What's the expression? You can't see the forest for the trees, right? They are the trees in the forest. The Armenians themselves, they're the trees in this incredible forest. And I'm over here looking at the forest, at this just beautiful growth, this foliage, this incredible, nature's gorgeous, all of us can agree upon that. Nature is gorgeous. And it's this just beautiful, lush forest. And there's this one tree standing taller than all the rest. And because I'm not in the forest, I'm over here looking at the forest. I can see that one tree sticking up taller than the rest. You can see from further away. That's Sogoman Talarian. Okay? So my job is to dig that treasure and point to my friends, hey, check out this forest over here. All the non-Armenians, Christians in particular, it's just this huge, huge demographic that just value good stories. And here's a story that's just been buried. All right, I'm going to finish with this, though. This thought. There's a psychologist who I highly respect, like 30 years teaching as a professor and practicing for another 15, or I think he practiced while he taught as well. So for decades of experience, really smart guy, written a couple books. And there's a quote from him that encapsulates why I am obsessed with this project. My whole every waking moment in my life is engrossed in this. He said, and he phrased it in different ways at different times, but essentially he said, the purpose of life is finding the heaviest burden and picking it up. Another way he says it is, find the heaviest thing you can carry and carry it. What's the point of being human? What's the point of life? Some people just say, I just want to have fun. Why do we have, people just, hedonism? I want to gratify myself sexually, gluttony, pride, arrogance, greed. All those things are self-satisfying and worshiping. It's like worshiping your senses. But none of those things are worthy of emulation. Those are all things that are shameful. We can agree. It's not being wealthy that's bad. It's being greedy and being controlled by wealth that's bad. So that's the difference. Eating food isn't bad. It's being a glutton and only gorging. And so it's not the things themselves that are bad. So what does it mean by picking up the heaviest thing you can find and carrying it? It means you are meant for something, and the only way you're going to get there is by working hard. Think about a weightlifter. His goal is to be strong, or, bodybuilder, his goal is to be big. What does he do? He picks up the heaviest weights he can, and he lifts them, and then he picks up heavier ones when he can handle it, right? That's the analogy. You will become a better human. You will fulfill your purpose by picking up the heavy, and it's a metaphor, whatever it is. And for me, what's heavier than the massacre of innocence? And making that known to the world. Subscribe, share, comment, like. There will be another episode today. I'll do it after my shift.